In this video, we're going to be taking a look at page Word 38, which is dealing about adding hyperlinks. And a hyperlink is a text or graphic that, when clicked, will jump the viewer to a different location or to a different program. When a document is viewed on screen, hyperlinks will allow the readers to link or jump to a web page, an email address, a file, or a specific location in a document. And when you create a hyperlink in a document, you select the text or graphic you want to use as the hyperlink and specify where the location you want them to jump to is when that hyperlink is clicked. You create a hyperlink using the hyperlink button in the links group on the Insert tab. And the text that is formatted as a hyperlink appears colored and underlined. So if we take a look at step one, Step 1 tells us on here that we are going to select your name. Now, if you would like to turn off the formatting marks, you may on there. Step 1 tells us to select your name. So I'm going to select here my name. And then it tells me I need to click the Insert tab. Then I need to click on the Hyperlink button in the Links group. So here's my Links group. It's about right in the middle, and I'm going to click on Hyperlink. And what's going to happen is that the Insert Hyperlink dialog box will open. And we could use this dialog box to specify the location of the web page, file, or email address, or position in the document that we're in that we want our users to jump to in there. And in this case, we want our name to be hyperlinked. So what we're going to do is from here, we're going to move on to step 2, which tells us we need to click email address in the link section. And that's over here where it says link to, and we want to click down here to where it says email address. Now when we do this, notice the screen changes a little bit for the insert hyperlink. And this will allow us to insert a hyperlink so that when users click on your name, it's going to allow them to send you an email. Step 3 tells us that we are going to type your email address in the email address text box. So right here underneath email address, I'm going to type in my email. Now you'll notice that the mail to and a colon appears on there. That is actually some HTML information that's going to allow that hyperlink to open up your email program, and that way so that you can actually type an email. So I'm going to type in my email address here on there. Once we have that, we're going to choose the word underneath there on the subject, and this is continuing on step 3, and it tells us that we're going to type Wanderlust Travelogue series in the subject text box. Once we have that, we're going to go ahead and click on OK. Now when we do that, the reason that we put that subject in there is that when Word automatically adds that mail to and everything, also when we put that subject on there, whenever we click this hyperlink, it's actually going to open up, in my case, it's going to open up Outlook, and it's going to allow the user of this, or the end user that's going to be reading this press release, to click on this, and it's going to have my email address already in there and have the subject of Wanderlust Travelogue series in the subject area. Now, if we place our mouse pointer over this, notice that it tells us, of course it's kind of quick on there, that we have to press Control and click on there to follow a hyperlink. So if I press and hold my Control key and then click on my name, which is a hyperlink now, you'll notice that the computer is now working a little bit, and momentarily we will see my email browser or my email program pop up ready to go, and there it is. And notice that in the to, it already has my email address, and the subject is already filled out as well. And that way, so when someone needs to email me about this particular subject, it's already done for them. It's ready to go, so they won't have a chance to mess up my email address or to put a subject in which I'm not going to know what they talk about. So I'm going to close this down here because we're not going to send this email. Now, of course, if you want to ever remove a hyperlink, you can right-click the hyperlink and click on Remove Hyperlink. And that removing a hyperlink will remove the link but not the text. on there. And of course, step 5 was to close the email message window, which we have just done. Step 6 tells us that we're going to scroll down and we're going to select gas lamp quarter in the second paragraph. And so it's the second line in the second paragraph. We're going to select gas lamp quarter. And when we have that, we're going to click on the hyperlink button up here in the links group. And in this case, instead of the email address, we are going to go ahead and click on existing file or web page. That's the top option. And when we go to that, what we're going to do is we're going to, we're going to type in the address area, we're going to type in www.gaslamp.org. And as you type for this, the Word is automatically going to add the HTTP for you in there before your www. And then the text gas lamp quarter is going to be formatted into a hyperlink so that whenever we click on this, hit our control and click on it, then that's going to open up the Gas Lamp Quarter Association homepage. So let's go ahead and click on OK. That concludes step 6 on there. Now we're going to continue on just a little bit more by moving on to step 7, where it tells us that we are going to select detailed schedule in the last sentence of the third paragraph. So when we go to detailed schedule, we're going to select that down here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a hyperlink. So we're going to click on the hyperlink button up here. And we are going to go down to the address again, and we're going to type in www.questspecialtytravel.com, and we're going to click on OK. Now notice that we have these hyperlinks there. Now of course also keep in mind as well is that when they have not been visited, they are blue. But notice we visited this one up here and it has purple, and that is just a typical way of letting you know that you have actually clicked on that hyperlink at one point in time. Now the next thing that we're going to do is that on step 8. Step 8 tells us we're going to right-click quarter in the gas lamp quarter hyperlink. So up here we're going to right-click right here on quarter. And notice that the shortcut menu has appeared a little bit different now. And in this case, we're going to click on Edit Hyperlink. And notice that this is where you can select it, you can open it, you can copy it, and you can remove it. But we're going to edit this one. When we edit this, we can change the address down here or where it goes. We can add in some other things as well. But in this case, what we're going to do is that we're going to click on where it says Screen Tip, which is up here. Now remember, the screen tip is the item that when you point to an object, it gives you a little tip about it. And in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to type into the screen tip map, parking, comma, and other information about the gas lamp quarter on there. So now that this is a custom screen tip that we have, and we're going to click on OK to accept it, and then we're going to click on OK here to accept that. And if you notice when we point to this, it may go by quickly, but you'll notice that your information is there in the screen tip. And once we have that, we're going to go ahead and click on our Save button to save the document. And you notice that there's the screen tip again, which is different than that screen tip. So now what we're going to do is, if you have an active internet connection, which you should have on there, of course if you're not working with an active internet connection, you really can't do this next step, step 9. But if you do have one, which you should be able to press Control and click on where it says Gas Lamp Quarter. So we're going to follow this hyperlink here, and we're going to open this up. Now sometimes this may take a little bit of time, because if you notice down here on the bottom it says Word is preparing to go to this link. Sometimes it goes by quickly, other times it goes by a little bit slower. And we notice that once we go here, that it has automatically opened up our default browser, which in my case is Internet Explorer. And if I maximize this, notice it's taken us to gaslamp.org. And so this tells us about the official website of the Gaslamp Quarter website. So we notice that our hyperlink actually works. So that's an excellent way when someone takes a look at this that they can go to a web address that you want. So once we have this, we're going to close the browser, and then we'll make sure that the detailed scheduled hyperlinks works. So we can click on that, press our control key, and then click on this, and it's now opening this up, and then there is the Quest Specialty Travel website on there. So this gives us some information on there, and it's always good to test each hyperlink to make sure that it works on there and that it goes to the correct website. Now, one question that people have is can they click on it if I print this? Unfortunately, when you do print this out and give it out, common sense should probably tell you the hyperlinks are not going to work. Now, they will appear to be hyperlinks when you print this out, so you can tell that there's hyperlinks there, but typically you're only going to add hyperlinks to a document that you're going to email to somebody on there as well. Now, if you do take a look on page Word 39, the next page over, it does tell you a little bit about emailing and faxing documents directly from Word on there. Be sure to read through that section and everything, because it does give you some good tips and hints on how to actually go through and do this. Typically, you have to have some things set up for it. Just understand that there is that capability in Word. And that concludes this video. We have one video left, and that's going to be dealing about preparing a document for distribution. So make sure that you do save your document, and you can move on to the next video.